All right, call me a hypocrite, whatever. We're doing another empire video, and I'll just get more into it later while I'm actually doing this. But today we're gonna be taking a look at a scenario where Romania forms an empire. That's right, Romania will be expanding across its borders and reaching out across southern and central Europe in order to form itself a new empire. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new, as we are reaching for 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We have around 14,200 to go, and I believe we can do it if I get your guys' support. If we don't get there, whatever, let's at least try to get to 90K. So get friends and family to subscribe, and let's go ahead and jump right into this video. So throughout this video, Romania will be colored in red, and that will just signify their empire boundaries. So when you see red, it's Romania. And Romania's first task as an empire is to invade Moldova, their weakest neighbor. So we have Romanian troops crossing the border and invading Moldova, splitting the country into two, and it soon capitulates. Now there is one slight problem with Moldova, and that's that it has a little scenario going on with Russia. And said scenario is Transnistria. Now Transnistria is a strip of land within Moldova, which is kind of like how Donetsk is with Ukraine. It wants to be separated, although it's not recognized by anyone but Russia. So yeah, that creates a lot of tension with Russia as they push into and take the area. Although surprisingly enough, the West defends Romania here, even though they are an aggressor in this war. Basically, they say, Transnistria was never really a country, so you can't get mad at them. And then Russia is bringing up the whole fact that they invaded Moldova, and it's just back and forth, classic East versus West. Nonetheless, though, Romania is going to get a lot out of this treaty, and a lot is going to be Moldova itself. Now, Moldova isn't a very large country, but if you do remember back to like World War II, Moldova didn't even exist. It was just simply a part of Romania, and Romania used to look like this. So just like that, they have restored their old borders, and they're feeling a lot better. You know, a lot of Romanians agree with this, and I would even say that a lot of Moldovans might even want this. Don't take my word for that though, because I'm not Moldovan, but it makes sense. Speaking of countries who lost their land after a world war, Hungary is looking very small. Now Hungary used to be huge. They had all of Slovakia, they had a part of Austria, they had a good portion of Romania, Transylvania, northern Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, all of that. So there's going to be a lot of tension between Hungary and Romania. And I think now's a good time to bring up that NATO, the EU, the UN, they do not exist in this timeline. This is the case just to give Romania the best chance at expanding, and also just because it makes the scenario more fun. No big alliances, no big coalitions. And on top of that, Romania is slightly buffed just to give them a better chance at expanding. And if they weren't buffed, this would be a lot harder. They'd have to go up against countries like Ukraine, which they would fail against. And a lot of bad stuff would happen in the Balkans because the Balkans are never happy. Speaking of the Balkans, Romania is going to continue to expand, this time going after Serbia. In real life, these two countries have okay relations. In this scenario, those do not exist. Romanian troops immediately flood across the border and take their capital. And with this, we have more countries joining in on this war. Those countries include Kosovo and Albania, and this ultimately brings Montenegro in on the side of Serbia. Now no other countries dare to get involved here because they don't want to go up against Romania, who once again is buffed, but they just don't want to go to war, and that's fair enough. So now Kosovo and Albania focus in on Montenegro and also doing a slight campaign into southern Serbia, and then we have Romania just doing the rest, taking out all of Serbia and eventually splitting the country into two, capitulating the north, and following this an invasion down to Kosovo, and finally the two countries surrender. So let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. Alright, looking at this treaty here, Romania is looking very ugly with these borders. However, they are still expanding nonetheless. And what Romania is aiming at doing here is kind of forming its own Yugoslavia, except in the east as opposed to the west. And they're doing good so far. I mean, they took over one of the stronger countries in the Balkans, Serbia, and they've taken over Moldova, which, I mean, that's not much of a threat, but still you get the land. And now they're having friendly relations with both Albania and Kosovo, who is now recognized worldwide. But now let's talk about the Empire series and why I'm doing this video. I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I don't have any other ideas that could fit within my time frame right now. Basically, I gotta get this video recorded and edited as soon as possible because I have other things I have to do, which I have to do by today. So it's a big time crunch. That's why mostly, but also because the Empire series is nostalgic sometimes. You know, I keep getting rid of it and bringing it back. I guess I'll just go ahead and say that it's not going to be done. So once again, call me a hypocrite all you want in the comments. It's not, you're not wrong, but I'll probably just do like an Empire video like once a month, maybe once every 2 months. Just whenever I don't have time to do something that I want to do, which is kind of a bigger project, or like when I just don't have time to do anything at all. That's kind of the case with this video, so I'm already 7 minutes into recording, and I gotta get this done within the next 10 minutes. So it'll be a shorter video, sorry about that. But now that Romania has expanded into Serbia, they're gonna continue to do so, this time into Bulgaria. And once again, Romania is gonna meet absolutely no restraint as they push into northern Bulgaria. And once again, Romania is gonna face no restraint as they push into northern Bulgaria. Now focusing over here on the west as they push towards their capital, Sofia. But Bulgaria does have a little bit of their own plan, and that is just to take Bucharest at every cost. So Romania's capital right there, Bulgaria's capital, think it's right there, so they already got it. But if Bulgaria just grabs that might be good. So Bulgaria focuses all of its available military assets, which aren't defending over here, and punches them straight up and captures Romania's capital. This is a huge blow to Romania, its morale, and its reputation across Europe and the world. You just lost your capital to a country which you're stomping, which is kind of sad, and people are now seeing Romania as less of a threat. That is until Andrew Tate appears. He himself is going to save this war. Using his intense kickboxing skills, he pushes all the Bulgarians out of Romania and back into their country. From here, he jumps into his Bugatti, drives south, and meets the Turkish border. This itself is going to destroy Bulgaria, because how could you not be destroyed? The rest of the Romanians now push in, and they push all the way down, and eventually we have the surrender of Bulgaria, as they were not rich enough to meet the standard. Now Romania is just looking great. I mean, there's a lot of ethnic issues between different races and ethnicities, of course, but we're going to ignore that. You know, the culture wars, the racism, all that stuff that happens within the Balkans, that doesn't exist. And luckily enough for Romania, they elect a new president / emperor, and that is going to be he himself, Andrew Tate. He is going to lead Romania into excellency. But unfortunately for him, there's going to be some people who don't like him. That's going to include a coalition between the two most unlikely countries, Turkey and Greece. Who saw this coming? Absolutely nobody. These two countries hate each other. They join in, and they even managed to get another ally to join in, and that ally being Hungary. So with this, Romania has found itself in a pickle. Sure, they do have their own allies, which include North Macedonia, Kosovo, and Albania, but will it be enough to stop Greece and Turkey? Well, Romania is going to do something here that doesn't really make much sense on paper, but once you see it, you're going to see that it's kind of a smart plan. They're going to invade Ukraine. Now, why would they do that? Well, if they do that, then they're automatically on the same side as Russia. And when Russia gets involved, they're going to want to invade Turkey. And if they get Russia involved, they can easily wipe out Ukraine. And then they just get themselves and Russia to focus on the south. So Russia invades Georgia, and there we go. This war is a little bit more fair for the red team now. So Romania itself is not going to invade Ukraine. Instead, they're going to focus in on holding back the Turks and the Greeks while also pushing into Hungary. So that's exactly what they do. They send some troops into Hungary and hope they capture the capital. While down south, we do have the Turks and the Greeks doing a little bit of damage as they invade across the whole front line, but nonetheless, the Romanians are able to hold out. As for Russia, they're going to get their crap together, and they're finally going to send their whole military into Ukraine. This time going a lot better, as like I said earlier, NATO does not exist, the UN does not exist, so Ukraine is not getting any help from any countries. It is just them versus Russia and Romania. So the Russians this time are going to have a lot more success. I might be overestimating them, but whatever. This is Romania's video, so I shouldn't even be talking about these two. But they're going to capture Kyiv, and this is going to deal a huge blow to Ukraine itself. Now that Romania sees Ukraine having troubles, they're going to send their own forces in, pushing into Odessa and capturing the city, and effectively cutting Ukraine off from the Black Sea. Back down south, however, the Greeks and Turks had different plans, as they managed to push all the way up into Albania and capture the whole country. This just leaves the Montenegro portion of Albania remaining, which is pretty likely to rebel, and that's exactly what it does. From here, North Macedonia and Kosovo are wiped out, and Turkey sends a force up the Bulgarian coast. Back over to Romania, they have completely managed to wipe out Hungary, who really didn't serve much as a threat at all. Back to Ukraine, Romania's forces are now pushing through the countryside, capturing Liev? Something like that. But at this point, Ukraine is cut into two, and they're just not going to last much longer, so they end up surrendering. So now it's Russia and Romania versus the Turks, Greeks, and Georgians. Russia's already really familiar with this Caucasus area, so they're going to push in pretty easily. Once again, I'm probably overestimating Russia here. As we know, in real life, they're not really that strong, but whatever. As for Romania now, they withdraw all of their troops from Ukraine and Hungary and focus them down south. And Turkey and Greece are not ready for this, as they're going to be absolutely decimated by Andrew Tate's armies. Pushing all the way through and liberating their allies, they really didn't stand a chance. Back down to the Greek peninsula, Romanians cross over and cut off Greece from Turkey. From here, these Romanians cross over into the European part of Turkey, which I keep forgetting. Starts with an A, I think. No, it doesn't. It's thrice. And now they are at the gates of Istanbul. As for Russia, they make a landing in northern Turkey and threaten Turkey's capital. With the Romanians entering into Istanbul and the Russians on the doorstep of Ankara, the Turks make a pretty smart decision of surrendering. This leaves Greece by themselves, who, after fighting for about another month, end up surrendering as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. Alright, take a look at this treaty here. Romania is looking very strange as they expand themselves across Europe. Now, I don't really like the borders of this because I just couldn't get them shaped right up here in the north, and I also don't really think it helps that these are like straight lined over here. So for the thumbnail, the Romanian Empire is going to look a little bit different, but same thing, so it doesn't really matter. But breaking it down here, Albania is becoming the new Chile of Europe, as they are now expanding across the southern European coast. As for North Macedonia, they annexed the region of Macedonia, making themselves the true Macedonia. Don't get mad at me, Greeks. As for Greece itself, not looking too good, as they're reduced down to their only peninsula. Turkey got a little bit of a slap on the wrist. They just lost thrice, and they lost a little bit of land over here to Russia. Other than that, no reparations or anything like that, so they're okay. Ukraine barely exists anymore. They'll probably end up like maybe uniting with Poland or doing something like that, but they're just not looking great. And yeah, thank you, Romania, for solving the whole Russia-Ukraine war. Except the outcome is not going to be liked by anybody. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's Romanian Empire video. Before you click off, give me a second. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers, and with 15 days left to go, it's not looking too good. I've said this before, but reaching 100K by the end of this year, I don't really care if we do or we don't do it. I'm not expecting us to do it, but if we can, that would be huge. Our original goal for 2022 was 50,000 subscribers, and I tried to double that, so it's no big deal if we don't hit it. We always have next year. I assume we'll hit it in like January, February, somewhere like that. But instead of trying to get to 100K by the end of this year, we can also try to get to 90K by the end of this year. That itself would also be a huge milestone, because that last 10K will probably go by like a breeze. I do have a daily upload week scheduled for 90K. I don't have the videos yet, but I have it planned out, sort of. Not really. I don't have it planned out. But yeah, so 90K will probably push us to 100K. There will be a live stream by the end of the year. I don't know when, probably after Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and just maybe say 28th. I think I actually might work that day, so maybe not the 28th, but somewhere within the 27, 28, 29 area. So tune into that live stream. That will be our final push for 90 or 100K, either or. But yeah, so that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Don't request Empire videos, because I won't do them that often, or I won't do them often enough to where I'll need input on them, because I'll just do the more popular countries. Somehow I haven't done Romania yet, so now it's their turn. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, once again, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.